Welcome. This is really a pop-up message, piggybacking off of the other message I did about public indecency. This thought came to me that I should do something that I said to myself many years and even recently that lack of knowledge gets us in trouble. We don't educate ourselves. It's like when I met a young lady one time, she said when she see a guy who's interested in her, she asked him key questions. Who's the governor of the state? Who's the mayor of the state? She would ask him political type questions. Something to see if they are aware of their surrounding, not just come at her with other kind of nonsense type of stuff. If they did not show their education in certain areas, she didn't want to have nothing to do with them. And she had a point. We need to educate ourselves on the things that we see. A lot of citizens do not know that their rights they do not know their rights. They think when people do certain things, it's a right, but it's not a law. It's not a right. They just do it because they want to do it because they have an agenda to do whatever. So as I did the public indecency message saying that you can do your own homework and see what is your public indecency laws in your own state and county, because the way I see it, when I see on various social media sites that people are popping up naked on the streets and people have to walk through all of that, the crowd to get to where they're going to or coming from, and the police officers are seen standing by and no one is arrested, then my thing is that isn't that a violation of the law? Yes, because the law has never been repealed. It just looked the other way. But if you and I do the very same thing in another type of setting, we will be arrested or hauled off to jail or hauled off to a mental institution, declare that we mentally insane or got some kind of mental problem because we on the street naked. And that's the facts of life. And it's done that way. So we need to educate ourselves. He Still Speaks Now. Listen is a channel where I say that God gave me that title. He said he's always speaking. We just not listening because we want to hear our answers, not what he want to tell us. And a lot of us are in this situation because we refuse to listen. We continue to don't want to listen, and we're doing our own thing. But God is still on the throne. He sees all things. Nothing gets past his eyes. We are to be his eyes and ears. So this thought popped in my mind when I did the message about pimping. What is pimping? What is a pimp? When I was an undercover officer working in the city streets, there's certain days I would go out to just arrest a prostitute, and the prostitute would be on the street, and the pimp would be in a great distance away, but always watching his girls. And depending on what they say to me, I say, you are under arrest and taken off to jail. And the pimp go out there and arrest them. The pimp go to the jail and bail them out. And then they're back to doing it over and over and over. Very rarely that pimp is charged because the girls who working for them out of fear for whatever reason, they don't turn the pimp in. So therefore the pimp is doing what he can do or want to do or should be doing. And a woman can be a pimp. So those of you who don't know what a pimp in the category can be a, a go-between person, a brothel keeper, a madam, a pimp, a man or woman who control prostitute. It don't have to be a male. It can be a male and a female. I'm adding these things and arrange clients for them, taking large part of the earnings in return. So a man and a woman can be a pimp, controlling other men and women, and giving, and the clients come to them and say their client come and say, I want he or she. They got to be a certain race. They got to look a certain way. They got to have a certain body type. They got to be a certain age, and all kind of stuff. So the client is petition, go to the pimp, man or woman, and get money in return. Because I remember when I arrested a young lady, and that was her first time doing it. And the reason why she did it because she wanted to get money. She left home telling her grandparents she was going somewhere else, and she went out and be a prostitute. So when I caught her, I was the first person that she uh, met. And I said, "Why are you doing it?" She told me her story was sad. I said, "Do you know you can get killed out here?" She didn't have a pimp. She said, "No." She's looking at the money aspects of it. I said, "You might meet anybody. I see you're a very attractive young lady. That person can take you to home, make you his prostitute, and he's your pimp, or he can kill you, or you don't know what can happen." And I put the fear of God, as someone said in her. And I said, "You need not to do this because what if you died tonight? Your grandparents will not know where you are." So in life, we need to think about the choice we make. People uh, are pimping themselves for a lot of things. A pimp is one who's a pimp And a prostitute is the one who do what? Entertain clients. I always throw this out. If you want, a prostitute is one who sells themselves for something. A male can be a prostitute. A woman can be a prostitute. And you say, "Oh, I knew that," but guess what? You and I can be a prostitute. Children can be a prostitute. Why? Because they're selling themselves for something: money, fame, clothes, shoes, iPad, the latest fad that's going around. So the term prostitute is one who sells themselves for something. And you can say, "Well, that's not me." Think about it. People kiss up to the boss to get a promotion. They act in a good behavior. So in life, all of us at one point in time are still doing it directly, indirectly, not really know that we are doing it. We are prostituting ourselves for something. You have kids. If they try to get on your good side, they're prostituting themselves to get something from you. You may not like the term, but they're selling themselves to get something from you. So we all in life, one time or another, or more than others, sell ourselves to get something from. It's like a resume. You make a resume. I didn't look at it till now. You do your resume. What are you doing? You selling your resume. You presenting your resume to your new employer because you want that job. So in a form, you legally prostituting yourself for something to gain something. It does not. Race has nothing to do with it. Sex is sex. Selling yourself for something physical, a job, emotion, cars, property, pocketbook, material thing, money. If you selling yourself for something, you are a prostitute, a male prostitute and a female prostitute. Children are not exempt from it. So you have pimps out there who very rarely get arrested unless it's a long-term investigation, undercover operation, and the pimp get arrested for pimping girls on the street for sex, or even pimping children on the street. People like children to indulge, they are engaged in their fantasy or whatever. So do your homework. Do your homework. Don't just say, "Oh, don't say, oh, that just them. These is stupid. They should know better. Prostitute themselves. Oh, they got so. My friend got caught for prostituting, and I didn't know they was prostituting. She's a married wife, and her husband is in the military, so she's pimping herself out there. You, who's causing, for pointing out that behavior in your friend, have done, will do, and is doing, currently doing, directly, indirectly, prostituting yourself for something. It's like you have become your own pimp, and you are the pimper and the pimp. You pimping yourself out for something. People say, "Okay, I just thought about this." You go out on a date. You are your own pimp. You pimping yourself out to that man or that woman to get something in return, to get them to like you, to get them to date you. They might want to be your future husband, or maybe want to have a child. And I didn't think about it till now. So you don't have to have a physical male or female as your pimp. You can be a pimp and pimping yourself out. You are the pimper. You pimping yourself out for something. And you can say, "No, that's not me." Yes, it is, because to prostitute yourself, it is sell yourself. We always hear the term prostituting. Oh, it's a bad thing because the women on the corner selling for sexual gratification. But prostitute is not exclusively for that specific behavior. You and I, in our lifetime, going to pimp ourselves out for something, for a job, a car, a husband, a wife, or something. And we can be a pimp, to try to get someone to do something that we want to do. I'm sorry, we try to get somebody to do something that they would not normally want to do. We are their pimp. Children, parents can be a pimp upon their children. Want their children to do what they feel they should. I think you should do this. I think you should do that. Y'all want to do that. I never had an opportunity to do this, do that, do that. They have become the pimp to their children. And the children say, "I don't want to live that lifestyle. I don't want to do that." "Well, you do what I say because you're living in my roof." "Well, I don't want to." If the child is not following the household rules, and the parents are trying to push the child to go in another direction pertaining to college, to be a doctor or lawyer or whatever, and the child does not want to do that, and they force the child through whatever means to get the child to do what they want to do. A pimp does the same thing. A girl says, I don't want to be a pimp, a prostitute, and the pimp will beat her up verbally, physically, and emotionally. Parents can do the same thing. I can say, at one point, I've been a pimp. We can all be a pimp. A mother can be a pimp. No one is exempt from this pimp status. So I just thought about it. It didn't. I never looked at it that way until now. So I now see why it should be a separate second message, not tied into other. So it's not an offensive message. It's not, I don't believe you. I don't accept what you say. That's your belief. That's your opinion. All that may be true, but what I'm saying is true. You who are the sound of my voice, if you see yourself in this message, which you should see yourself in this message, maybe you need to hear what I'm saying right now, because this was not even a part of my message. It just popped in my mind as I was speaking on the other video. And I feel when that happens, God is always speaking to us. We just not listening. He may know someone out there right now who about to make a decision in their life need to hear this. They need to stop pimping themselves out for somebody or someone or a group of individuals. They must come back to normalcy and begin to think for themselves, begin to do the right thing. And if you're not sure, seek out help spiritually or socially, counsel or whatever. Seek out the help, because guess what? Being a prostitute who sells themselves out for something will eventually get arrested. The seeds that we sow in our prostituting behavior, we can reap the consequences of that behavior. So you can be a prostitute, selling yourself for something. No one's exempt from it. You can be a pimp, pimping yourself out for something to get something. So it applies to every one of children. Do it all the time. Mom, Dad, no, you can't have it. Mom, okay, that's a battle. The children know who to go to get what they want. They do not go to the one that gives them more resistance. And then when they meet both parties that don't want to comply to them, they decide, okay, I'm gonna go outside on the street and sell myself to a gang group. I'm gonna be a part of a gang. I'm gonna be a part of sorority. I'm gonna be a part of this group, this organization, because I want to belong. So you can see where this message is going. It's indirectly. It's no ceiling where this definition does not apply to. So if you see yourself in this message, just say, okay, I need to stop pimping myself, stop prostituting myself, because I'm going to reap the consequences of my action. And then I'm going to meet someone, say you have the right to remain silent, give the right to remain silent. Anything you say to do will be used against you in the law. The right to have attorney present or being questioned. Do you understand each of these rights as I read them to you? You have the right to have an attorney. Understand these rights. Do you want a lawyer? I'm paraphrasing a little bit of it. Or you, what the word of God say, you shall reap the consequence of your action. So I never looked at, I did do a message. I have something written down pertaining to that in one of my books, but I never looked at it in that manner that I'm giving it to you today. So that's why I perceive that God wants it to be told and said to you who are listening to me. It may be, you can say it's not for me. Yes, it is, because you have done it. You may be doing it right now and unbeknown to you. You know, say your boyfriend, you're married, and you're pimping yourself out to your lover to get something in return. Someone say, well, can you do me a favor? I'll do this for you. You're pimping yourself out. Or you have become a prostitute. It's like you pimping and prostituting yourself at the same time. You're engaging in the same action with you, the same behavior. You are the individual. You don't need a physical person out there to go to a prostitute or to be a prostitute. You are the one in the same. You see what I'm saying? So share, like, subscribe, and comment. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Comment. Anything that you want me to talk about, just put it in the text chat box, and I'll see if it's not about blame. It's not about accusatory. It's not about pulling the finger of bad or prejudice or racist or whatever. This video is to educate you. I have no power to make you do anything. It's to educate you and inform you. Like I mentioned in the last video, all of my videos are pointing to me. It'll always apply to me, and want you to start thinking about yourself. Yes, it's okay to be entertained, but we must break away from the entertainment factor and begin to live the life that we were called to live. You have a call and you have a creative ability. Begin to understand. Are you pimping yourself when you should not be pimping yourself? Are you prostituting yourself in areas that you should not be prostituting yourself? Do the right thing. Come clean. Confess that that is what you're doing. Is it going to be a ceiling where you never do it anymore? No. But when you're aware of it, you say, oh, I can't do that. Oh, that's wrong. Oh, I'm pimping myself. Oh, I'm prostituting myself. I want something. I want something for somebody. Then you are fighting yourself to try to do the right thing. Nothing else. Look at all of my videos. Look at He Still Speaks Now. Listen to my channel. Look at Thoughts in AM, The Hidden Tears of Black Male. Those channels, and look at the videos that I put together, and have a website that I'm upgrading. He Still Speaks Now. Listen.org. Someone told me that my message that I put out there is some phrase she used, I can't remember. She said it's informative. It calls the individual to look at themselves. And we're living in a world today, we live in an environment that a lot of people are looking at themselves through the wrong lens. We need to be encouraged. We need to hear in positive, constructive, education, informative message that will cause you and I to say, wow, I'm doing that. I need to stop doing this and that. I need to put my life back on the right track that it ought to be. And are you a blessing for someone? Are you a blessing for this person or that person? You don't know if you're doing your own thing. So I close. Don't pimp yourself and don't become a prostitute. Thank you. God willing, I'll be back with another message as I'm led to do so. Share, subscribe. Thank you.